Hello all. So, I am going to do, or attempt to do, the disc brake upgrade. I've never done one of these before, so I'm doing it in real time. So you will have all my, I'm afraid, head scratching and figuring out going on at the same time. There are a couple of videos on YouTube that give you an idea of what you need to do. But I thought I'd film myself doing the whole thing. As I always say, the joy of YouTube is you don't have to watch it, and you can skip the bits that are dull or that you don't need to know. So first things first, I have got 2 spare wheels, the front and one rear, because I'm going to keep the C5 so it can be returned completely to standard. So I'm going to keep a front and a rear wheel safely to one side, so everything that I do can be undone. Not that anyone would want to go back to the original brakes if you ask me, but it means they can if they want to. So first things first, clean this wheel up. This is manky old grease, so take this apart and just completely clean it. And this doesn't really have much to do with the front brake upgrade or anything, to be honest. It's just sort of basic bicycle maintenance, really. It's the technology, so to speak, is exactly the same. So let's try to figure out how I undo this. I'm guessing that's probably about 15 mil. I'm hoping it's 15 mil because that's what I've got knocking around here somewhere. I had it, literally, there it is. Yep. So the spanner in my left hand is part of the C5 toolkit. I don't know if this is what it's intended for, but it fits and it's what I'm going to use. I've got a load of white spirit over there that I'm going to use to clean this off. This is really sticky, and I will invariably completely forget the order that everything came off in. So I think I'm going to need to take some pictures as I go. So there's a couple of washers. And then, yeah, washer, nut. Then there's the cone in here, which I think I'm going to need to physically use a proper tool to loosen that off. Same again, presumably. Oh yeah, really sticky. The gunge that's on here. So these are latex gloves. I think the other ones I had were nitrile. Nope, they're both latex. Okay, that's a shame. These get eaten. Latex gloves get absolutely eaten by white spirit. So I have a feeling these aren't going to last terribly long. But such is life. So yeah, so it's washer, nut, and then we're down to the core of the wheel itself. So just loosen this off. No, it's not that. That's definitely a lot smaller. I just got away with using this. I might need to get another spanner or a mole grip to hold the spindle in place, axle, spindle, whatever, to hold that in place in order to loosen this off. Yep, that feels pretty stiff. Matron, that's about the other side. If I can avoid undoing both of them, I'd like to get away with that, because otherwise I'm going to have to judge the centre of this again, but that's not coming on. Oh, that's really grindy. This so badly needs cleaning. Right, okay, I'm going to go and grab a mole grip from in the garage, and I might need, I've got a cheap ass toolkit here as well, but I might need the words. Adjustable spanner from Very, Very Dusty Lotus. That is my next big project. I've always got a million projects on the go. So my next big project is to fit the engine back into that, and a couple of arcade machines. And so I'm umming and ahhing about whether to fit the original motor back to it, or whether actually to convert it to electric. The world being what it is at present, if I want to keep driving that going forwards, it's going to need an electric motor. But it's such a difficult choice, difficult decision to make, because, you know, it's completely changing the nature and character of the bike, the car, sorry, to stick an electric motor in it. Right, I don't know if I've taken a front wheel apart before, so I don't know what's going to come flying out in terms of bearings or not. Hopefully nothing. They look similarly designed to the rear, so this is good. So I'm guessing this is actually about 14 mil. Oh, it's disgusting. The grease in here, I'm guessing, is 38-year-old grease. Oh, it's absolutely disgusting. It's just sticky and nasty. I apologise if my camera work is less than stellar. It's just sitting on my usual chest harness that I use when I'm going for rides, and so it's kind of going to end up where it ends up. Yeah, that's not going to work. Thought I'd get away with that. I mean, if I was sensible, I'd just get a spanner that's the correct size, hey? Come on, there we go. Oh, it's so disgusting. There we go, and there. Okay, yeah, so they're just with a held bearing, like cup. Oh, that's just vile. And same the other side. And will this pop out easily? Yes. So the whole thing, we're just going to stick the whole lot in some white spirit. This one, however, feels like it doesn't want to come out. There we go. And then I'll just give the wheel itself a bit of a clean up, but that just looks like it only needs some water. Right, let's do this. There we go, that's probably more than I need. Just let everything sit in it. Soften it all up. And that. Okay, well, these are now wet, so begins the degradation of the gloves, so I better work fast. Oh, they're really vile. I mean, I don't know if I should be really editing this for YouTube, but sorry, it's not going to happen. I have little or no interest in doing the whole video editing thing. It's just not my thing. Not something that I find interesting or entertaining or fun. so sorry. But obviously you can always fast forward and skip all the boring crap and just jump into the bits that you need to see. What I will try to do is put some, I don't know what they're called, like index points in the video, so you can just skip to the beginning of me doing this and then putting it all back together again, and then actually trying to fit the brake kit itself. So you can just watch the bits you want to. But those of you who are sticking with it, thank you very much. Keeping me company, so to speak. I guess all I can do is just keep scrubbing until it looks clean, or clean enough. Hopefully without moving this cone. That's already looking so much better, isn't it? All that manky grease is gone. If I can clean the threads out. That's something I forgot to grab before I started. I'll put a bit of thread lock. No, not thread lock, sorry, the other one. Copper slip on the thread. I know I kind of sort of shouldn't in a way, but it'll stop things from seizing up. And I think the chances of things coming loose are pretty minimal. And if they do, I can always just clean it up again and put thread lock on it. Right, so let that one sit for a minute. Clean the bearing cups. The bearing cup, bearing race, I don't know. Are both words acceptable? Okay, mutant finger. You can see the white spirit is affecting the rubber. It'll perish and go through soon enough. I've got some, I think it is nitrile gloves indoors. I should have brought one of those out, a couple of pairs of those with me. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's like Toxic Avenger, or was it Robocop? We're going with 80s movie references to stay in theme. Can you fly, Bobby? What is your favourite Robocop quote? Any of you have actually watched it? Fantastic movie, so quotable. Okay, clean the other cone up. Get the mank off. All that nasty, nasty, nasty old grease. So funnily enough, being the nicer of the two wheels, this is the one that's going into storage. So on one hand, I kind of don't need to clean it up, but it makes sense in my head to make sure that it goes away clean, just in case it does ever need using. But nothing needs doing to it. Right. Have another go at the bearings. I've got the initial gack off it. Now I can give it another go. It's sat for a while. can come out. There's a bearing missing somewhere. Where's the other one? Oh well, I'll grab what I grab. Hopefully I can get it done before the gloves give up the ghost. And where's the other bearing? Come on, did I take both out already? No, I didn't think so. There it is. Look how disgusting the white spirit looks. See just how much crap has come off these parts. Doing the back wheel will be a lot easier because it doesn't really need this quite so much. It's been all the parts on it have been taken apart and cleaned and re-greased so many times. I will literally just put that. The wheel itself will just go straight into storage, and the parts that come out of it won't really need much looking at. Oh shit. Right, so there should be, I think, 4 washers, 2 small nuts, 2 large nuts. There's a washer somewhere. There it is. And that is it. That's all the greasy crap cleaned off. And now I kind of need to clean the white spirits off. I've found that a bit of isopropyl seems to work on that. So I need to go into the house to dispose of this safely. I've got a container. And then I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And I shall clean that wheel with water, clean all the white spirits off that, reassemble that all, and then get on to the next wheel. Brilliant. Okay, back in a minute. Right, welcome back. Give that a clean. I'll leave those a bit longer to dry naturally before trying to clean the white spirits off them, I think, and just give this a bit quick clean over with some water. I have a bowl of water behind me. I mean, this isn't exactly exciting stuff, watching someone clean a wheel, but sorry. I wonder if I need to point this down a bit more, or if that's now too much. I can feel how hot the GoPro gets. It's ridiculous. Whilst capturing this amazing high-speed footage. Shitting hell. The amount of crap that came out of the sponge then, it's disgusting. The water has gone from clear to literally it's just grey. Gross. So again, this is perhaps a bit excessive because it's just going into storage, but I just feel it makes sense to put it away as clean as possible, so if it is ever needed, it's in really good nick. And the other side, do it all again. See if I can do it a bit quicker this way. Luckily the dirt on this is just fairly superficial, sort of dusty, muddy stuff rather than actual nasty, greasy grime that takes time to clean off. So I just remembered I need to do a bit of grinding on the rear wheel. I'm just thinking ahead. When it comes to fitting the spacer, they say to grind down the serial number so that it doesn't make this. So you basically, so that the spacer will sit flat, sit flush against the wheel. But I'm wondering if I can actually just grind a small section out of the spacer and not damage the wheel. Though that seems a bit daft since I'm about to drill into it anyway, so I'll probably just do it the way that they suggest. But in theory, I don't see why I couldn't just grind a tiny section of the spacer away that would sit over the serial number. I can hear my neighbours coming out, so I'm going to pause this because they're probably going to chat to me. And they don't know I'm streaming. Right, BRB. Okay, I'm going to have to probably jump off again in a second when my neighbour comes back. So, yep. Giving it a quick clean up. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Certainly perfect, good enough to go into storage. I could probably have done it a bit better. I'm going to do it better down there. Why not? If I'm going to do it, let's do it. Get in there with the brush. It could get a bit noisy. My other neighbours are moving in yesterday and today. And so one of the moving vans has just arrived. So they're going to be busy. They'll have a lot to do. My neighbour was just showing me a wheel that had come off one of his cars where they'd repaired the tyre from a flat and were wondering why it was still going flat and why it was still leaking. And there was a nail that had actually gone, not only had it gone through the tyre, it had actually gone through the wheel itself and the inside of the rim. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, my neighbour's coming back, so BRB. Right, there we go. Yeah, this is starting to perish, look, it's going through. But luckily I'm done with the white spirit and stuff. Reassemble this, clean these up, reassemble it. Hello there, how you doing? You alright? Busy? Yeah, a little bit, just putting some disc brakes on my toy.
Definitely looks interesting.
It's an old 80s electric vehicle, so it's yeah, toy. Right, so clean the white spirit, or dry the white spirit off this, and refit it all, grease it up, put it into storage. Then I'll take the wheel off the actual C5 itself, give it a quick clean up, it shouldn't be too bad, and then we'll start on the actual disc brake, which will be a bit of a voyage of discovery. I've watched some of the videos, but they sort of talk in general terms how to do it, and they tell you what you need to do, but they don't show you them doing it. Oh, this is just falling apart now, proper Toxic Avenger style. Or yeah, back to RoboCop. But yeah, just clean these up, dry them up, because obviously there's no point putting grease on anything that's still got white spirit on it. And then crack on. Okay, let me swap to the other gloves. Chuck this one on. Right, and clean up turn this into one of these to clean up inside all of the nuts and bearings. See you, James. Just dox my neighbour. Right, I know this is boring. It's just donkey work really, isn't it? It's easy stuff, but it has to be done. And this, I think that's everything. Right, let's put it back together. So these just pop in. And start greasing shit up and put it back together again. So, bunch in there, bunch in here, a bit more in there I think. And take some of this, there's a bit much in there, use that for the bearings.
So we tell them we'll work Sunday, we can take the price of the job on Saturday. If that's like flagging.
That just pops in there. And do the same again with this one. So yeah, I was just telling my neighbour that I've been considering getting a new motorbike. I had one for years. Well, I've had 3 over the years, but I haven't had one in a long, long time, and I really, really miss it. My friend is doing his CBT, bless him, and his enthusiasm is rubbing off, and I'm getting back into the idea of getting a bike again. And so yesterday I went out to look at an Indian Scout Bobber, 1130 or 1150 odd cc's, and basically it works out as, because obviously it's an American bike, it's 69 cubic inches. Nice. Someone's got a sense of humour somewhere. So I'm really, really tempted. The demonstrator bike they had in the showroom already has the brakes. Brakes, we're not talking about the exhaust converted, and has a valve on it. So you can go into don't piss off your neighbours mode, and then pissing off your neighbours mode. And it sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. So they had several new ones in the shop, but it's the demonstrator with the exhaust that I liked. It had the matte black with more black, and that's right up my alley. There we go. No play, and moves really freely. Look at that, lovely. Right, there were 2 on each, and these goes on. So this goes on first. That on, and that. There we go. Yep. Same again on this side. Oh, I can see my neighbour is just arriving, the one who's moving in. So he might say hello for a minute. So I shall stop recording for a sec. Back in a minute. Alright, back. This is nearly complete. just 2 washers on each side. And I'll just, I won't bother tightening this nut up, it just needs to sit on it happily. And then it's done. Oh, damn it, got this washer off kilter, there we go. Come on. There we go. And yeah. So that is that done. Ready to go into storage. Nice. And now I will... Am I going to... Yeah, this is the one I'm going to use. It doesn't really need much in the way of cleaning, to be honest. It's pretty clean. I'll give it a quick once over. This is the brake hub, basically. So inside, you'll see it when I take it all apart anyway. The brake shoes push against the outside, and this is essentially a heat sink for the brakes. And yeah, it gets fucking hot. So yeah, I've had 3 motorbikes over the years. My very first bike was a Suzuki TS100, and that's a really old school scrambler, and it was great fun. My first little bike, because it was already a bit battered, it was really second-hand when I got it, and it was just really easy to use. It was 2 shocks at the back rather than all the modern. Anything from about the late 80s onwards would have had a monoshock. It was just easy to chuck around, and you didn't get precious about it. So I really went scrambling. Used to jump it and the whole 9 yards. Did absolutely everything on that bike. It was so much fun. It wasn't really, I wasn't really very precious about it or anything. So it was just a laugh. Getting this off is going to be fun. Then after that I had a DT125R. They were all 2-strokes, the bikes I had. So they were revvy and blippy and fast. So I had my DT125R for about a year and a bit, I think, in the end. No, about a year. And there's my hammer in the far corner. No idea where my rubber mallet has gone, but in the absence of a mallet, a hammer will do. And that's not where I was expecting it to be. I'm usually a bit more organised with my tools. There it is. There's one of them. Yeah, and there's the other one. And I might need that. So yeah, I had a DT125R after that. So that was it didn't have the power valve fitted because it was learner legal for about 6 days. Then I went to my mate's house, and we took the exhaust off, took a hammer and chisel to the baffle in the output, in the outlet of the I guess it's the inlet to the exhaust before the expansion chamber. Just hammered that out and then opened up the power valve, and then it was at full power. So yes, I need to remove this, and these black blobs are what's holding it on. And I think what I'm supposed to do is just basically whack it here and hope for the best. In theory, I think this can go back on, but you never would. I don't know if this is working or not. Let's try it going back the other way on the other side. Oh, I think, yep, that one came off. Okay, I think I just need to stick at it and go around and keep whacking stuff until they all pop off. Oh. Right, a couple of them are coming free. This one needs more hitting. I need to get all Daniel's sun on this. Focus. Because I don't want to miss. That would be a bad time. Okay. It's like half off. I don't know what else I need to hit to get it to come off. Or if it's now, do I need to have it raised on something like that to free it up? Because obviously if I've got it sitting like that, it's sitting on the metal face itself. No, I think I just need to hit maybe that one a bit more. I'm not really sure what else I need to hit. Keep hitting it till it comes free, I suppose. Let me see if I can find something I can raise it on ever so slightly. Only needs to be a couple of centimetres. Well, if that. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? That might. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know what it is that's holding it in place. Is it these bits now that are essentially holding it in? No, they don't look that like they're actually gripping the wheel. I think it's probably just this inside pushed in. Needs just to be forced out. I'm not going to get in at that to whack it. Does that look like it might have moved a bit? Okay. Oh, whoops. How's it going? Is it moving? And you can see there's a slight gap there. Yeah, I guess it is. I think it's just a case of keep hitting it till it comes out. How long are we giving it till I whack my own hand? I wonder if leverage will work. No, that's not going to do anything. But it does look like it's moving, just very slowly. Okay. So more hitting. there's clearance under there. I'm not. Yes, there is. Is there? Yes. Okay. This is where it would potentially be very useful. Anyone in the comments, if you have a better way of doing this, it would be very, very useful for anyone watching this to tell them that this is not the way to do it. Yeah, I was under the impression that this would sort of pop out after a point. But that's definitely not the case. You hear them moving then, having some fun. You've got to take your laughs where you can. You've got a long job. Yeah, okay, it is making progress. Whoops. Okay, over here. Looks like it needs a whack. Oh shit. This side. Yeah, that does make progress. Side quest. Yeah, it's coming. So I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not. So to get started, I was hitting the opposite sides where these plastic blobs were. And for this bit, I've been hitting the opposite sides of these. Because these are where it seems to be connecting through to here. Yeah. I don't know if that's right, but it's very slowly working. clearance again, and I'm not just wasting that. Yeah, because obviously if this is touching the ground, I'm going to hide into nothing. God blimey, how far's it got to come out? Bloody hell. Is there a knack? Should I grease this ever so slightly? Or will it sort of reach a point at which suddenly it then goes, yeah, okay, I'm coming out now, pop. I think all that will do is damage the wheel. Let me see if I can find something better than this to raise it up on the side. Mole grip might be better. No, it won't. Maybe the other hammer. Let's grab that. Oh, yeah, let's use these. They're not going to move in a hurry, are they? And they'll give plenty of height. Good height. If it'll stay put. What could possibly go wrong, eh? I was getting scarily close to the camera then for a second. Doesn't seem to have budged a fucking millimetre since the initial move. That's a weird one. No, that's not the way forwards. There we go. So I'm sitting on the one battery. I'm sure there must be an easier way of doing this. But this is the bit that all the videos that I've seen omit. They don't show that this is a fucker to get out. Okay, yeah, that is moving a bit. Right, let's keep going. smack it over this side. Whoops. Can I fit this in actually directly onto that hub? I don't know how much it is or isn't dissipating energy. Yeah, you can see it's really starting to move. Let's try that. So yeah, if someone does want to pop up in the comment section and say, yep, there's a much easier way of doing it, that would be very helpful for anyone watching this, so they don't have to do this bullshit. Yes, was that it? I think we forgot it. There it is, little fucker. Ouch. Why am I doing it the hard way? Just hit it. Gotcha. Well, that took quite a pasting. This will no longer be required. I'm putting the entire other wheel into storage. So That's rubbish, basically. Bin material. So there, you can just about make out the serial number. I don't know how well that shows up on the screen or not. The serial number in there that needs to be ground away. Give this a bit of a clean around the hub, where I couldn't get in at it before.
You're on the step, no? Huh? You're on the step, no? Ben, where's your tools?
I mean, it's not really necessary to clean it up, but if I'm not going to do it now, have a clean once in a blue moon. It's not something you're likely to take apart and clean it another time. So I might as well put it on as clean as I can. Sorry, it was just pointing at the floor the whole time. Man, I'm so sorry. Pro streamer, eh? Quality camera work. So, the Lotus in there and my old sports car, well I guess it's old but previous, have split rim wheels on, and they're a fucking nightmare to keep clean. Absolute fucking nightmare. To the extent that I'm considering selling the split rims from the Esprit. The only thing that's sort of stopping me from doing so is they're so freaking rare. But they're such a pain in the arse to look after. If you think that cleaning this is boring and laborious, it's got nothing at all on cleaning split rims. 3-piece split rims, flipping heck. All the nuts and bolts that you have to get around to clean the fuckers up. They're an absolute sodding nightmare. So the old one had 17-inch OZ, I think they were splits, 3-piece splits. The rear wheels were 235? They were 235 or 245, and the front wheel was a 195. They were fucking huge. Absolutely fucking huge. Sweary. Hey ho.
Ben, look, we've got something to look. Another, you notice.
Right, so this is the one that is going on. Get it nice and clean. There we go. So yeah, that I need to Dremel out. I'll have to dig out one of the little grinding tools or something, Dremel out the writing. Let's do that now. I'm jumping about a bit, but just get it over and done with, out of the way. Grab the Dremel, get that done. Then it's just the nuts and bolts and stuff. So this is where I charge my C5 battery every time, and set up. So I have two chargers now. There's the charger it came with, and I bought an aftermarket one as well. The aftermarket one gives you a battery charge indicator, so it tells you how much it's actually got. Because I don't know how long I'll ever put it into storage or anything like that. They say not to store them above, to store them around 60% charge, something like that. If you're leaving them for a couple of months or something. Right. And a smaller. Come on. Oh, okay. So basically I figured that this would fit in there better than the normal Dremel. It would probably fit anyway, but hey. Okay. Is that how this works? Or does it just not fit my Dremel? There we go. Let's see if this is going to work. Looks like it, I think. Sorry, I'll move this up a bit more. There we go, grindy bit. I apologise for my terrible camera work. Guessing this is all I do. Yay! That's too big. By a fucking country mile. Well, that's a fucking pain in the arse, isn't it? Waste of money. And time and effort. Balls. Does it come with a special collet? Okay, there's something in here. Hooray for really blunt scissors. There we go. Okay, maybe this collar will make a difference. I'm making a mess, I'm making a mess. And this one is too small. Could the bullshit be any greater? Am I doing this wrong? You're doing it wrong. Yes, I am. This, I think, goes in. You can always read the instructions. Okay, that. I don't have one of those. Mine doesn't work that way. Oh, yes it does. Aha, there it is. Fucking idiot. There we go. Look how much easier it is when you actually read the instructions. And grinding tool. There we go. Let's move that down a bit. So yeah, can you see that? The number? Just grind that off. Okay, let's turn this up a bit. There we go. Obviously, I don't want to go too far. Nope. There you go. You're all right there. You okay, hun? I think that's that. Yep, that feels smooth. There's no... maybe a little bit up there. Up there. Okay. Right, done. Go off and remove this. Put the instructions of shame back away. I think I have to surrender a competence card for referring to the instructions. I wonder if I'll remember this the next time I use it. The safest place to put this is on here. In terms of not losing it. Yeah, he said yeeting it halfway across the floor.
Everything come across aggressive, even though he didn't mean it. Yeah, because he's foreign, huh? Yeah. Polish. Polish, yeah. Yeah, that's why he came across like that, because he didn't...
Right. Right, so done it. Right, pull that across here. Next, my really exciting reboxing video. Okay, which way around? Is that? There we go. There we are. That's that done. Goes back in there. And put this back. Right, put all of these away at once.
We're looking at some similar ones to say, like, do you know what? Yeah, look, this looks.
I know no one would believe me looking at the state of my garage, but I do actually tend to tidy as I go when I'm working on a project. It makes for a slightly tidier workspace at the time, and less to sort out at the end of it. There is method to all the chaos around me. It makes sense in my head, and I'm sticking with that. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Spot the trip hazard. No prizes.
Where back to what you garage stuff?
Okay.
But the bottom
Let's finally take the front wheel off then. So the shroud is just held on by some plastic clips. This will be staying off for now. Well, this will actually be staying off forever. Once the disc brake is on, it won't fit underneath this. I'm going to get a second-hand one of these that's not in as nice condition, because you have to cut a section off it to fit around the actual disc brake caliper. So let's give this a bit of a clean before I put it in storage. There we go. Sorry, this is going to be tedious. Feel free to skip ahead. Lovely. I wonder if a bit of isopropyl would work better. Okay, I'm just going to be cleaning, so I'm going to pause this because there's no point people struggling through that. BRB. Right, I'm back. So I haven't gone utterly crazy cleaning this, but it's generally pretty clean. There's some bits inside down there that are being a pig to get at, and I think I'm just going to leave it because it's just going to go into storage anyway. But I wanted it to be as nice as possible. I mean, I don't know how many of you have or haven't read my little about section, but those of you who have will know that I basically consider this to be a present from my late brother. It's like his last gift to me, so I am unbelievably precious about it. Basically, that's why I'm using other parts rather than drilling into the originals and stuff, and everything has to be put back to original. Is that yeah, I'm just a bit precious about it all, and I'm all right with that. This is an important thing for me. There are these two bits of gunk that I really want to get off. Hopefully without doubt. Here we go. It's easy when you can just get at it. There we go. Been brushing away at those for ages. Nothing in here requires much force. It's just about being able to get at it. They were going to bug me. No more. Okay. I mean, crazily, almost none of this has to do with anything to do with fitting the new brake discs. That did, grinding that down. But this is all for me. So this and this will go into storage. I'll find a nice box. Maybe I'll use this one. They will go into storage. That'll be my C5 spares and parts and bits and bobs box. I've got them scattered through a few. This is a box that contains electronic components, diodes and transistors and stuff like that. This has got a spare belt motor belt for it. There's another bag of components in there. So yes, let's actually start doing something. Take the wheel off. So I'll need to let it down in order to get out the caliper, and I'll need to take the caliper off as well. Do this gently, I don't want to fuck it up. It's amazing how quickly a tyre goes down. Right, 15mm spanner. Okay, there we go. And then that just pulls straight out. Squeeze the tyre and it comes out between the caliper. So this is going to come off entirely. There are new brake cables that come with it, the kit. I don't know if I can get away with using this. Probably not, otherwise they wouldn't give me a new cable with the kit. Anyway, first things first, wheel. Yay, it's manky. I'm going to need to do the same again and clean this fucker up. That runs very freely, so I'll just give it a superficial clean around the outside, I think. I will have re-greased that when I first recommissioned the C5, when I first put it back on the road. Back on the road, put it on the road at all, so it's not even recommissioning it, it was commissioning it. It's never been used. Absolute pain in the arse to get in to the centres of these spokes, and that's going to bug the crap out of me, so I need something else to do it. Will this brush reach? No, it doesn't feel like it. Nope. Oh, that's right, I've got a new tyre to go on this. Look where the tyre has worn through, where the calipers were rubbing. Well, one of the calipers was rubbing. I might as well take that off now then. Will I get away without using a tyre lever? Just. There we go. There we go. So C5 tyres, well, C5 wheels are spec'd at being 12 inches, but they're also written elsewhere as 12.5. I would say they're actually 11.5. This is a 12-inch tyre, and it's a little bit too big. The inner tubes are huge. Yeah, let's take the inner tube out. I don't want to risk fucking it up. And this will just pop out. There we go. So that is, I suppose it could, no, I was going to say I could keep it for emergencies, but really that's fit for nothing but the bin. So that can go with that. And clean this fucker up. It runs very freely because I did grease it up. I don't really want to take it apart. Is this getting in at there? I need something with longer bristles to get in. Invariably, things with longer bristles are physically much bigger. The universe giveth and the universe taketh away. Oh, it seems to be doing the job. Cool, blimey. That was not me. Doesn't sound terribly healthy. Okay, that's doing a fairly decent job. I have no idea how people who do concourse competitions do this. I mean, this is just laborious and repetitive and boring to me. I guess they find it perhaps sort of cathartic, and maybe calming or something. It takes a level of patience that I absolutely do not have. But as this wheel is the one that's going back on, I would like it to be nice and clean before I make it filthy again. If it wasn't for my impatience, then I would strip this, clean them in white spirit again, yada yada yada, and then just leave the wheels to soak overnight in something. I'm not recommending this, it's just the first thing that's coming into my head. Something like lye or something like that. You know, like some drain unblocker, but obviously diluted. You wouldn't want to use it neat. Something that will just take all the crap off the plastic. Minimum effort. And you just sort of leave it in it, rinse it off afterwards, call it done. Ugh. Yes, well, at least I feel like I've achieved something, looking at one side to the other. That is the advantage of working on one side only, rather than doing it bit by sort of swapping around, which my attention span usually does, is that I can see what I have actually achieved, comparing this side to that side, which is great. So I'll be methodical this time and actually start at the valve. Though, to be perfectly honest, that was pure fluke. So it makes sense to start at the valve. You've got an actual start-stop point. And some of this grime will be 40 years, well, 38 years old anyway, just from years and years of sitting and gathering dust and being in storage and stuff. Some of it will be from my rides, and yeah, some of it will just be from its age. Right, this is just laborious stuff. I'm going to stop boring you with this. I'm going to stop filming and I'll come back when I've mostly done it. Right, that's pretty much clean. I just had the realisation that it was probably not the best idea to have re-greased the wheel that I'm putting into storage, and should probably just put all the parts sort of dry into a Ziploc bag or something like that and attached it to the wheel, or possibly just left them in place but completely dry, and then whenever it gets used at some point in future, if ever it gets used at some point in future, then it could be greased up then, because you probably need to anyway. Need to clean it out and re-grease it, depending on how long it sits in storage for. That grease might well need replacing by the time it's ever used again. Hey ho, what's done is done. Okay. So, that's that off. Let me take the caliper off. Is that going to be 10mm? Looks bigger. No, that's 10mm. So it's 10mm for this. To undo the bolt that holds the cable in place, the cable itself. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Is it this way around? Nope. This way. There we go. Okay. This pops out. I was hoping this would pop through the hole in there. It's not going to. Damn it. That means I am going to have to cut the cable. Okay, there we are. So there we are, there's the snips. Right, cut as little off as possible. See if I can get away with that. That can go in there. There's a bit I definitely do not wish to lose. These will go to the recycling. And so that's the cable free. These can go in there as well. Let's detach the caliper. I won't miss this, to be honest. There we go, and we're free. One fork, no caliper. One caliper, no fork. Let's put this all back together. There we have it. The nut and washer for this. ham-fisted. There we go. There we are, that can go in the storage box. Let's give the fork a quick clean down. Get that crap out of the fork. I have a brush that I used to use for brakes and wheels in here somewhere. Oh, they may have all bent and been binned. Oops. No, it's not immediately coming to hand. This was my late brother's childhood bike. I use that very frequently when I'm really getting on top of things. Use it about 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah. This is going to have to do. Have another go at the fork. Second clean. No smutty comments, please. That's what she said. Yeah, okay. I see it. Right, that's that cleaned. And my dignity gone. So now I need to actually start looking into putting the fucking disc brakes on. So what I need to do is there's some kind of spacer that goes on here that gets drilled into place. And then I don't know why I'm bothering to tighten these up. Yep, I guess that's the first thing I have to do, is try and see how I go about fitting that. Of course, it would be a lot easier if I had removed that. I'll dig the batteries out to hold it upright, hold it flat rather, level. So this is the kit. Made by a chap called John Webster. He puts the whole thing together. Absolutely everything you need to fit disc brakes. So there we go, front, rear. This will be rear too. This, I'm guessing, is for the front. These could be for anything. These are spacers, so you can adjust where the brake caliper sits. I don't think I'll be needing those just yet. We have a whole bunch of brake cables. Okay. That is a rear disc and a front disc. And this is a something. I'm guessing this is the front caliper. Yes, it says front. So, let's have a look. Open our way in carefully. Don't want to go cutting anything. Hopefully it's all just metal in here, but you never know until you open it. Right, one brake caliper. Very nice. Bolids. I have no frame of reference. There we go, that's the bit that moves. So I'm guessing this is the bit that clamps down the cable. I don't know how that works. I'll clamp down the cable, and then so the cable comes through there and around here, get clamped to this, and pull. Okay. So we have front. I know there's a load of spacers for this. It looks like they're packed with it, which obviously makes perfect sense. It's almost like the chap that makes them knows what he's doing, isn't it? And he's put it all together in a really sensible way, which is fantastic. This is the version 1 of his kit. The new kit has different spacers. They're made in a way that the bolts don't require metal standoffs. I think they're just made sort of a bit smaller, a bit narrower. Okay. So yeah, there we go. So these bolts have metal spacers in between to help support them. The version 2 of this doesn't need those. There we go. Because this is slightly smaller, and so the support that they offer is given by this already. And I think it's made of metal. The back one I think is made of metal. Is there any difference to which way around this goes? No, none at this stage. It will matter when it goes on back onto the C5, however. Somewhere in the kit there is a, I think, drilling template. Okay, so we have the discs, they're not needed now, nor is the caliper, nor are these things. This is nothing but bubble wrap. This is the spacer for the rear wheel, that will pop in there. That is the rear setup. And have I misplaced it? Probably. I think there was a small metal bracket that will sit over here for drilling, and you use that to line everything up to drill it all properly. And I think it works on both the front and the rear. Are the Centres of these the same? Yes, they look like they are. Give or take. So no, it doesn't look like the template is in there. I'm sure it came, I'm sure I saw it. The whole lot has been in this area since it has been opened, so anything can't be further than around here. Welcome to chaos, hooray! Let's see what I could have done. Right, I'm not going to bore you with this because this is just me looking for shit that I've misplaced, so that's on me. Back in a bit. I think I found the spacer. I think it was bolted to this. So does that go over there? Yeah, that fits around, and I use that to drill through. I think that's how this works. So this is the rear disc, bolted to the rear disc. There they are, Allen keys. What am I looking at? 5mm? Nope, 4mm? Yes. Did I call it a spacer? I think it's like a drilling template. At least I hope that's what this is. I might pause this video and take a look. Pause this recording and take a look at the YouTube video. See if there's anything that says. But I'm pretty sure that's what this is. There are several videos on YouTube that sort of talk in high level terms about doing this upgrade, but none that seem, well, no, not none, I didn't find. That's very different. One that actually literally walks you through it step by step. They talk you through it, but that's different from seeing it done. There's some thread lock on these, so maybe I wasn't supposed to take these off. That boat has sailed. And it was attached to the back side of the bit that says rear. The rear of the rear. So that, I think, is the template. I think this fits over here. And you line it up between the spokes and you drill through it. There's a tiny bit of play, so I've heard you put some masking tape around there. That's a long old way to be drilling though, in terms of keeping it accurate. It'll wobble all over, you know, it's potentially go all over the place. So I think what you do is you do north and south, then put the spacer on and the disc in place. This is the rear disc, but still. Then put the disc in place, and then use the actual disc itself to drill through. Oh no, that's why you don't. There's way too much. Okay, so yes, that's it. You drill north and south, bolt them into place, and then drill the others out. Okay. Some of the guys drill a pilot hole first. I'm not sure there's enough. If I'm drilling with anything smaller than that, the potential for it to wander all over the place is huge. Right, bit of masking tape. this and gloves is not going to be a good match. Let's see if I can get away with this. No, I'm not going to get away with this, but I'm not doing anything manky just yet. There you go. Right. I need new scissors or to sharpen these. There we go. Really? Stick a bit of masking tape about this? It needs to be an even thinner piece. Oh, I need to, sorry, you're looking at the floor again, aren't you? There we go. Put this around here. I'll stick a second piece over each of them. There we go. Put that around here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's snug. It's a very sort of gentle friction fit. I'm going to pause the video and double check that this is correct before I go any further, that I'm using the right thing in the right way. Then I will basically rest this up like that and drill north and south, and take it from there. Right, BRB.
Yeah.
Right, I found the video. This is by Paul Grice, Gricey Boy on YouTube.
Is you put in some masking tape.
So yeah.
Some masking tape around here like twice, because you'll find that the spacer is slightly wobbles otherwise, and you won't get it absolutely spot on. And then all you do then is you line up the spacers here to be dead in the middle of these. So you get it around exactly as close as you can to perfect, like that, for example. And then I use a small drill bit to hold this in place. Run a small drill bit for each hole to make a pilot hole in each one. Then you can remove the bracket, remove the masking tape, and then you can drill the larger hole to match the size of the nut and bolt. Cool, right, let me go for it. Right then, yeah, so one thing I forgot to mention actually was this piece here, so that's actually got the part number just there. You actually need to file that down.
Okay, so this is the terrifying bit. So, yeah, just to double credit the video that I had up just a minute ago, that's by Paul Grice, Gricey Boy, Griceyboy on YouTube, and that was sort of showing how to do. I think it was a rear that was the one that I was just watching, yeah, I think I'm going to use this. These seem like they require that they're M5 bolts, nuts and bolts, but a 5mm drill won't fit through there, so I'm going to have to drill it out with a 4mm drill bit initially, and then I'll use a 5mm afterwards. I don't really want to use a smaller drill bit, as I feel there's too much potential to wander around all over the place. I mean, as it is, it's going to be a bit, you can see how much freedom there is for it to go for a walk So there's that. Can I fit this through? If this will fit through, I'll bolt this into place, which will stop this moving. I will need to enlarge the hole over here to 5mm. There we go. So if I put this through, this should, I think, where did I put my Allen key? There it is. No, it isn't. What did I do with my Allen key? Oh yes, I was over here doing stuff, so it'll be over here. Yes. There we go. And then I shall lightly screw this into place in the spacer. Am I pointing into the sky again? So, yep, I'll screw this in place. There we go. So that spacer won't move. And I don't want to tighten it up too much, or it might start pulling it off. Just do it up enough to hold it steady. Then I know that all of the others are in the right place. There we go. So, pull that around a little bit. I don't know how much this really matters or not, if I'm overthinking it, or if I'm just exactly the right amount of thinking it. I'm going to loosen this off a little bit because it is starting to pull it out. There it is, over there, that's where I want it. Okay. This is now the 5mm bit. Back to the 4. Check this hasn't moved. I probably didn't need to do this, and just literally drill north and south, and then use those two to hold it in place afterwards, and just make sure that they're in the correct place. So, you know, I really ought to have had this on a flat, proper surface, but, yep, nice. So now I will bolt this into place. Oh yeah, it leans enlarging. This could be a problem. I think here. Like I say, should have done it on a flat surface. I think this one might be a little bit near the edge. There we go. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Let's be super lazy. Let's get my electric drill, electric screwdriver. There we are. Mind you, having grabbed that, I don't know if I've got Allen key that'll fit it. No. Dull bugger. I've got something somewhere, but not here. Okay, never mind. I have to do it by hand. Here we are. That is in. So yes, apparently we don't need to really crank these down crazy hard, just firmly. And this time I am going to be sensible. I'm going to put this flat. Let's swap this out for the 4mm bit. So this is the battery I used to use when I very first started my rides on the channel. An old lead acid battery. Right. And last but not least, check the central. There we go. Right, swap this out for the 5mm bit, flip it over and enlarge the bores. There we go, that's it. Well, that's it for this wheel. Right. Remove the spacer. I don't know if that needs to go back onto the rear wheel or not. Not rear wheel, I mean rear rotor, brake disc, flipping heck. Oh, and you're looking at the floor again, sorry. I know somewhere I do have the right attachments for Allen keys to fit in my electric drill, electric screwdriver, but still. Yeah, it's an impact wrench, impact driver actually, but still. So ever since I had COVID, long COVID, I find that I keep picking the wrong words. Finding words is an issue. I had quite a neurological COVID. My cough and stuff wasn't too bad. I had it really early on when you had COVID that gave you a cough. And so my cough and everything was actually pretty mild, my illness itself. But the neurological effects is where it was at, fucking thing. And then it didn't fuck off for a year and a half, so a year and a half of exhaustion and fatigue and stuff, which was bloody irritating. Right. Front disc. Your guess is as good as mine as to which is the direction of travel. I think the rear one says it on it. Yes, there's little arrows on that one. So it's suggesting it's going the equivalent of that way if the shape of these are anything to go by. So if it needs to go that way, and I'd put it on over here, I guess, because it needs to go on, I think it goes on the right hand side as you're sitting on the C5 with the spacer. Come here, fuck up. Let's come. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is very, very slightly enlarge the hole enough that this will just pull through, but it's not going to. It's going to make me unscrew it like a complete bastard that it is, and take forever. And I'm very wary of enlarging the hole more than necessary. Okay, so this will go on this way, I guess. Makes sense in my head. So where's the nylon spacer? There it is. That goes here. Then these go in here. Here. 1, 2. Ah, yes. There we go. So they go in there. Then all of these little buggers need to sit underneath. I'm just trying to think of the best way of doing this. Do it upside down. Okay, they're all roughly in the right place, and we can adjust things to actually fit now. There we go. Oops. So it looks like there's sufficient play. Oh god, you can't see anything. Sufficient play in everything. Crotch cam, yay! Sufficient play in everything. That you probably don't need to have the level of that I had in terms of drilling the holes through. That as long as they're pretty much in the right place, that everything, there's enough sort of play to adjust things around afterwards, that you don't need to worry too much about that. Okay. And this is going to be another journey, voyage of discovery. So having tightened all of those up, is there enough space for the nut to fit? For the, yes. Okay. Nope, that's not on. Okay, so that's a thing. Need to be really careful in terms of don't drill them too close to the centre. If you're going to err, and obviously you don't really want to leave too little plastic or nylon or whatever it is here, but I would say if you're going to err on the side of being over here ever so slightly, because otherwise there won't be enough room for the nut to fit if you're too close to the middle. So instead of cranking any of these down, well, don't crank any of them down at all, but instead of doing any of them up fully tight, I'll just do them up halfway, so there's still a bit of wiggle room, or as much as there's going to be. And as long as there's enough for the thread to engage with the nut, then it'll just sort of distort the plastic a little bit. Fuck, that one might be a problem. Come on, you bugger. There we go. Ah, of course. Oh, shit. Okay, let's leave that one for now. Next. Yep, that one's engaged. Next. Yep, that's engaged quite nicely. gone in really nicely, easily. That one went in perfectly. This one? Yeah, that one looks a little off centre. Whoops. This one might be as well. Oops. Come on, you bug up. Oh, that was engaged really easily. There we go. Okay, don't tighten it up too much. And the last one, you can see that I drilled it a little bit off skew. Fuck. I'm going to have to take that out and widen the hole ever so slightly. Really carefully. Shit, so there's the spacer there as well. Oh, I'm on a hiding to nothing with this. Let's loosen the others a little bit more. There we go. So the spacer's just gone for a walk, so I'm going to have fun trying to get that back into place. But do what I've got to do. So just ever so slightly drill this towards the centre. Right, now I can try and figure out how I'm going to get that spacer back in place. I think I'm not going to. But my stubbornness is greater than my common sense. So I'm determined to try before doing what I'm almost certainly going to have to do. And that's undo the fuckers. There we go. So I bloody will make it work. Oh, so nearly. If it hadn't dropped out. Damn it. I am not conceding defeat yet. I so nearly had it. It was absolutely just millimetres off. Millimetres, it was about a millimetre out. Right, you little bugger. Let me see if I can get you out again. Okay, there we are. Got you. There. That's in place over there. If I move this up a bit, I bloody will have it. I absolutely will. Yes, got you, fucker. Hi there, how are you doing? knob. I'm putting this through the wrong way. Right, if I keep some pressure on the brake disc, that'll hold the spacer in place. Well, my utter stupidity of putting this through from the wrong side, because I wasn't thinking it through, but it got it into place. Come on, you fucker. Out you come. There we go. And there we are. Got you, you little fuck. Let's see if I drilled it out enough after all that. Possibly no. Oh, fuck. Yes, got you, you fucker. There we are. Right, that's it. And so I think what I need to do is just sort of put this roughly in on the forks, and make sure that this doesn't look like it's wobbling all over the place. Needs to come this way a little bit. A bit. Okay. So I'm thinking that I just do up 2 for now, until I get the disc pretty much where I want it to be. And do up all the others. No, I made it worse. Okay. Now, which 2 did I do up? Where's the valve? There's the valve. So the one just to the left of the valve, and its opposite. so it is a little bit off. That way. Yep, that's pretty nice. There we go. Right, tighten the fuckers up. Where's the valve? There's a valve. So that one. That one. That one. That one. This one. This one. This one. And this one. Okay, that needed a little more. There we go. Right. There we have one disc fitted. Okay. Shit. Here's hoping I put it on the right side. Yeah, it's close enough for rock and roll. So this clamps on the fork. I'm going to check a video and make sure I'm putting it on the right side, correct side of the fork. Maybe it doesn't matter. And where's the caliper? What have I done with that? Chaos. There it is. So this will in some way bolt on that way or that way, not sure which. All will become clear once this is all in place. I wonder what that does. Does that sit on the sort of axle? Right, back in a bit. I'm going to do a YouTube watch and see where we get. So what I'm trying to figure out at the moment is exactly how this fits on the fork. So it looks like this goes inside. Damn, there's not going to be enough room. There's whatever the width of this is, it's not going to fit. The fork is just not wide enough. I'm missing a trick somewhere. If that fits in here, how the blazes will that fit? If it fits inside the fork and on the axle, then I don't see how it can fit out. Oh, can it fit out here? That makes far more sense if it does. because you've got the room to open the bolt. Nope, that doesn't fit in there. If that goes there, then it's just not, the wheel just isn't going to fit. I'm going to need to do some Googling. BRB. So just a quick update. It turns out that my forks are really good to spec, made to spec. So there is almost zero play in the wheel side to side. Most appear not to be like that. And as a result, this won't fit. This is about 3mm thick, and there's so little play that it won't fit between the axle and the fork. So I'm waiting to hear back some advice from one of the guys on the C5 group on how to potentially widen the forks ever so slightly. In the meantime, I'm cleaning up and re-greasing the front axle and the bearings, as they weren't quite as clean as I thought they were. Yeah, BRB.